Welcome in, y'all. Cowboy here. Today we're going to be talking about whether or not you should be playing Skull and Bones 2025. Now, it's no secret that Skull and Bones flopped on its launch. It was a Assassin's Creed Black Flag DLC that kind of ended up becoming a standalone game after about 10 years in development, guys. This was marketed as a triple A to a quadruple A game. A lot of the expectation by the community that it was going to be Assassin's Creed Black Flag Part 2, but really just emphasis on the nautical stuff rather than traditional single-player Assassin's Creed. And that's just not what it is, guys. It's a $70 game. That's the value that Ubisoft has placed on it. I don't agree with that. We'll talk about that later in the video. But you have to realize Skull and Bones is it's not a single player. You don't play as your character, guys. You can go to port as your character. You are the ship. It is a ship simulator MMO RPG. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about that, guys. It kind of has a little bit of a sandbox element, but it's got a few problems. Now, the foundation is there for everything I just mentioned, the MMO, the RPG, this, that, and other. Like, there are classes for the boats, there's support boats, there's DPS boats, there's tank boats, but the game lacks in in-game activities, it lacks in balance as of Season 4, and it lacks in goals. Now, what I mean by this, guys, is the in-game, there's little to do. We don't really have access more than to a handful of bosses and events every couple weeks, so they rotate bi-weekly every 2 weeks. And they get stagnant. It's really boring. You farm your boss, whatever you're doing, you farm it for a week, and then you've got a whole nother week, no new content, no other thing to do. A lot of these bosses that we are seeing are recycles from season 1 through 4. There's a lot to unpack there, guys. We don't have time to do it in this video, but we lack in activities pretty bad in this game. Now, when I talk about balance, this game has been really, really good in the last 2 to 3 seasons. Seasons 2 and 3, I'd say, were pretty balanced. There are multiple ship types, as I mentioned before, and you were kind of not necessarily incentivized to play these, but it made sense. Like, if you're playing with friends, one of you would play like a bark or a cutter. That would be the healing boat. You keep your friends alive through whatever content you're doing. One of you would play like a battle junk or a snow, and you'd kind of be the tank. And then one of you could play a really big damage boat, like the barge, the brigantine, or the sandbook. And they all synergized very, very, very well. You could also build comps. Like, you could have a debuff Vidar with a brigantine, and you could have like a cutter healer or a bark healer, or just 3 DPS boats if you want to. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, they had that roleplay RPG kind of element to it, and it was really, really, really nice. I really had a lot of appreciation, and I would hope that they leaned more into that. And I was excited when we got the battle junk that came out. It was like the first boat in the game that had a taunt with it. It had a debuff that increased the damage the target takes that is taunted, etc., right? Really cool. And then they kind of ruined that balance with Season 4. They put out this new boat, the Garuda. And the Garuda is game-breaking. It does so much damage. You don't need to be survivable. You don't need to you kind of want a healer with you. So you kind of want a healer. And there is a little bit of synergy if you use a battle jump. Synergize that and get more damage output. You can kind of still work with the Vidar, get more damage output, but that's not the point, guys. The point is nobody is incentivized to play these other boats to buff this, because at the end of the day, if you have one battle junk, one Garuda, and one Vidar, on paper, all that utility looks really, really, really good together. But at the end of the day, 3 Garudas is going to outperform it. The Garudas just do that much damage. It's very disappointing to see. So, That's what I'm talking about when I say the balance in the game is kind of off put, because the Garuda can solo 99.9% of content in this game. The only thing it actually struggles with right now, it can solo the level 16 of Vikram boss, that's the new seasonal boss, but it struggles with the level 17 of Vikram boss that you have to have 5 players for. So you need a healer for that. But that's the only content that it can't clear. And then, lastly, when I say goals, guys, we're talking about goals. As I kind of mentioned earlier, there's very little to do in-game other than farm the events, the bosses, etc. And it's fun and it's satisfying to make new builds to PvE faster, or you can go to a PvP server when you get bored, I guess, of PvE, and you can dink around there a little bit. But at the end of the day, we need something more challenging. We need something to work towards. We need something to push the builds forward, to progress the content, to progress the players, and ultimately, like, challenge modes. So what I mean by challenge modes is you look at other games such as Elder Scrolls Online, right? They have dungeons that you can do or raids that you can do, and if you do certain things or don't do certain things or engage hard mode on the boss kind of situation, you get achievements for those. And once you rack up the trifecta achievement, they give you a unique skin. If you do the hard mode on the boss, the veteran version of the dungeon kind of thing, you can get a perfected weapon, which is a slightly better version than the normal version, and so forth. Or like World of Warcraft has titles, mounts, reskinned gear, etc. Right? I think we need hard mode content that we can clear. We should get cosmetics for it. We should get upgraded weapons, so like slightly better than the original weapon. So like, let's say the Basilisk, for example, the Culverin. It'd be really cool if we could get a Basilisk 4 for doing certain like merchant convoys on a high difficulty or within a certain time period, like a certain speed of clear. I don't really know the specifics. I'd have to really think about it more in terms of what the hard mode should be and this, that, and the other. But I would actually like to see like instanced PvE, honestly, like dungeons, I guess, if you would. But maybe not a dungeon, maybe like a plunder that's just really in-depth and takes 15 to 20 minutes to do kind of situation. You need a little group, you need a tank, healer, DPS, everybody has to do their roles. I wish they would lean more into the MMO and more into the RPG than they really have been. More so than the ship simulator kind of thing going for it. But that's just my 2 cents, guys. If you agree with me, let me know down in the comments below. Please share this video. If you have social media, please share it at Ubisoft. Tag them in it. Maybe this will get their attention. Maybe we can kind of influence the game a little bit into a direction that I really think it should be going. If you disagree with me, same thing, guys. Let me know down below. And if you guys are new, you're picking up Skull and Bones, you're really thinking about it, it is a good game. I recommend you do it. I just wouldn't pay full price. It's not a $70 game to me. I personally wouldn't pay more than $30 for it. It's a secondary game. I like to play this. I like to pick it up, play it whenever I feel like playing it, and then put it down because it's a very casual game. You can put it down easy. You're not going to get left behind. It's not one of those games you have to play non-stop to stay relevant. And that is one of the big upsides for it. But that's all I really got for you guys today. And again, subscribe, like, comment. If you do subscribe and comment on any of my Skull and Bones videos, guys, I'm entering you in the giveaway. We're going to be giving away all of my weapons, armor, and furniture, of the raw materials and silver. When we hit 500 subscribers, and then again at 1,000 subscribers. So if you're new to Skull and Bones, guys, that's a big opportunity to just get everything in the game. If you want to. GG's, guys. I'm gonna keep it short. We're gonna peace out. But I hope everybody has good holidays, happy holidays, guys. Just coming out after Christmas. So hopefully, I help some people figure out what they want to do with the game.